I'm in Veer Towers in a studio unit, which is actually the lowest price studio in the towers right now. It's listed at $279,000 and it actually currently has a renter in place and it comes fully furnished. But let's go through this unit. I'm doing this video for one of my clients, and if you want to be one of my clients, I'll do the exact same thing for you as well. But let's start at the front door and then work our way through and I'll tell you all the details. So this is the front door of the unit. When I look off to the left, I'll have my washer and dryer because I have the vent down there. I know that that's going to be the washer and dryer on that side. Here we are, stackable Bosch washer and dryers right here to the left. And then you know what? I want to see, yes, we have another door. Yeah, this is just the panel, but they're making good use of it. They got a tiny rack in here too for dog treats and cleaning supplies, it looks like. Okay, so when I walk in, I'm gonna walk straight through and then I'll get into the bathroom, and so you can kind of see a little bit of everything. Now this one has a renter in place until I believe the 4th month of 2026. And I believe they're paying just over $2,100 a month for this as a fully furnished unit. Now, a few things that stand out for this is that the furniture is actually nice. It feels very clean and presentable. This is really cool too. This is an expensive option. It's actually never was an option, but they had this custom made, I guarantee it, because I met a person who was actually a builder that did a lot of these in the tower. So some people did a queen bed that you could pull out, and then you have extra closets on the left and the right, and then more storage up above. This is very useful for when you have when you're living here full time, or even if it's just a vacation property. One of the biggest things for me is trying to get storage in these units, especially if we're talking about having storage in a studio unit like this one in Veer Towers, which is in the center of Las Vegas Boulevard. Okay, so here we are. Right when I walk in to the right, I'm going to be looking at the bathroom. I mean, Veer is very modern. It's a very cool, trendy spot. So you have a few different, modern items here. One of which I love is just this hang down mirror that has the light on the front as well. And then we have the lights coming from the ceiling. So you have a few different light layers, having multiple different light layers. And actually, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Behind me, there's another one right up in the ceiling. So that's kind of cool to me. I like those details. But let's go through, since I'm doing this for someone who's actively looking at purchasing this property, I want to make sure I get a little bit of everything, so it's going to be detailed. This looks pretty clean. I'm looking for any hard spots on the countertops, anything that could show that it's been maybe neglected a little bit. This actually looks very clean. It looks good, so that's a good sign, a good first sign. Now let's head down below. Taking a look, I don't see any damage on the veneer. I do see that there is some kind of stuff right here actually on that. So just take note that there is some kind of stuff on there. And I see it on this side as well. Maybe some kind of peeling of the laminate on the metal part. The wood seems fine. Usually this is where the water would come and get hit. Here it looks like there's just some like toothpaste or something like that on there. Cool. And then drawers are operating good. Here we go. And then this should, there we go. Right on. Not bad, not bad. Great. And then going over to the shower itself, let's see how the shower is looking. I'm just gonna open this up. Yeah, just looks like a shower that just needs to be clean. I don't see any abuse or mold growing. Sometimes you get black mold growing in different areas because it just needs to be cleaned up, and it's set without having any ventilation. So that looks okay. That just has white areas there that just needs to be cleaned up. I don't see anything else around here. The walls look pretty good. I don't think I see anything that looks abused. Here we go. Oh, cool. They actually use this for purses. Oh, that's neat. Right on. Good for them. So this is, oh, wow, I like that too. I have a long bar in there. That is not totally common. And being able to fit these giant suitcases up top, I think they must have added this bar in. I can't be 100% on that because some of these closets do have, different little things in them. Some of them just have shelves, but a lot of the studios in Veer are kind of just unique with stuff like that. So I like that one for storage. That's pretty good. Now let's get into this storage area over on this side. And yes, it does have a bar over here, and then it looks like it's just a short area on this side with your, behind this, there's a panel. I don't know if you can see it back there, but bam, that's a panel for your internet and data cables. There we go. Looks good. Right on. And now let's get into the living room and kitchen and all that fun stuff. It looks like they have a pet here, which is so cool. They have like a little dog bed underneath the desk. I feel like it's very picturesque. Speaking of picturesque, let's go ahead and look at the view, what we're looking at. So I'm gonna start from the right, and I'm gonna go everywhere. We got the Cosmopolitan over here. We got our chrome dunes, I wanna say. Sand dune kind of situation. You got the West Tower. We are in the East Tower. We're looking into the West Tower over here. And then looking down, we have the entrance into City Center itself. There we go. And it's pretty open. So I actually like this because it's actually the furthest studio off to the side of the building. So you're not directly in the middle and mostly looking directly over there. This actually does have more of an open view, which is the best you can hope for in the East Tower if you are doing an interior unit. If you are on that side of the building, you get a little bit more of the strip, which is kind of neat. Some people like that. So looking at the furniture itself, let's kind of go through it. We have a desk over here that looks like it's an adjustable height desk. That's kind of neat. I like standing up. But if you're going to be here on vacation, you probably don't want to work. But if you're like me, you're going to be on vacation and working anyway. Oh, man. But enough of that. So let's keep looking through. Yeah, the furniture's looking pretty good. The grout lines are actually looking pretty good on the floor, which I'm liking that. That's pretty cool. And then let's look at our appliances and countertops. Let's start from this side over here, and then we'll kind of look our way through. It looks like this is the original range Bosch. Looks clean, minus this one burner is like the one and that one, I guess, that they use. This side doesn't really get used. Maybe this one. This is the sole one that doesn't really get used all that much. All right, so we're looking at that. And then this, of course, is the KitchenAid vent. Everything else is Bosch in here, except when they built this unit, that's the only thing that tested better than the Bosch equivalent. So the builder went ahead and did that. They are a coffee person. I don't know if that's part of the unit or not, but I would love to have a coffee thing as well. I've been into coffee lately. So here is this. I'm running my hand over here to see if there's any chips. I feel a little chip over on this side. Let me see on this side. Yeah, there's. I don't know if you can see that, but there's just some smaller chips there, some wear and tear on this side as well. So if you want to, just want to show you everything. Looking at the microwave, we're going in here. It just needs to be cleaned. Looks a little dirty on that one. Nothing too crazy. I'm sure it works just fine. Someone actually lives here, which is rare that having someone full time that lives in these areas. And then you know what? Here we go. Perfect. Yeah, this actually looks really clean, which is nice. And then going into the refrigerator looks like it does need to be cleaned. I am seeing some hard water spots over in this area, right over here. Refrigerator is minimal, so maybe they don't make as much of it as I thought. I don't know. There's really nothing in there, but it looks fine. Looks like it's operating correctly. Here we go. Looks good. And I always like to look in here just to see if there's some ice. Yeah, there is ice. So the ice maker's working. Those can be a pain to replace. But overall, this unit looks very nice, and having a renter in place may be a positive or a negative for you if you're, depending on your situation. The only other item that I saw that maybe needs to be looked at is this blind right here. The blind actually just has to have this metal chain restrung, because one of these metal balls, maybe I can find one of these metal balls is just in the wrong location. There we go. One of these metal balls is in the wrong location right there. And so it stops it. It prevents it from going all the way up. That's an easy peasy fix. No problem with that one. Anybody can do that. So that's pretty good. So in short, this is a Veer Studio listed at $279,000 in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you have any questions about this one or any other property, always feel free to reach out. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.